Yeah.
Nice to see you again, Shan.
Yeah, can you do an
It's been
Australian
a while.
accent? Dan, do your best Australian accent.
Oh man, I haven't even attempted even once. I don't want to, I don't want to take a chance. I've been here for 12 years, and the first thing I told myself when I came to Australia was like, okay, I'm not going to be one of those Indian guys who try this fake accent. So I'm going to keep my accent. I'm like proud of it. I'm sticking
Respect.
to it. Yeah, I mean, like I see so many immigrants, like, they try for like to change their accent and stuff, and it sounds really weird. I'm like, okay, I'm sticking to what's my what's my accent, and I've like it's just going so far.
True to the
Um,
original.
so first of all, apologies, guys. Just a little bit of delay. We are having a team meet. We're pretty excited for this week. Not just in the sense like it's a bear market and all those things, but we have been working on few products and stuff. So this week is when we're kind of looking forward. This as always, it's something that we try our best to change the not the last minute stuff, but it almost always happens. We are well prepared for the exam, but still you gotta go and cram up the last few questions or whatever that you might have already looked at. So similarly, we want like I've been trying to we have been as a team trying to launch products or do any of those stuff without those last minute pressure or something. But last minute is where you're like, wait, this is okay, but how about we improvise? And then we try to improvise, and then there's another another set of a bottle of worms, can of worms that we open up, and then and then we get modify it to look better or perform better. So this is the kind of stuff we've been doing because this is the week that we pretty much had promised and kept in our mind or as a target to come up with our few of the products, which is just a start. Obviously, from Gojira's perspective, I mean from PG's perspective. So yeah. So first things first, we are starting the. It might seem like we haven't done any marketing for any of these products or any of these things because it's almost end of the month, and oh shit, wait, I haven't recorded yet. Yep, sorry, I got to repeat this again. So yeah, so this week, yeah, as I said, we pretty much, it's a big week for us. It's a bear market, but we want to make sure that we make our products, reach to a lot more people, and they understand that, what we are like, that the team is still working in this market, and we haven't changed in any way, irrespective of the market. So the three products just for just like a brush up is number one is the tools, number two is the gasless marketplace, and number three is the VX claim for the Jiraverse. I mean, it's a way. First of all, apologies from the team side. It's not like we ignored the Jiraverse. It's just that we wanted to first come up with like a solid. I mean, first develop a solid product. For the Jiraverse, which is going to be like really really cool, and we are testing some. We'll be testing some new or different non-exist. I mean, like utilities which are not existing kind of thing. So so Jiraverse, obviously it's going to start with the VX first, and we hope for the VX as well, like it's not just going to be like a plain VX or something. You're going to see even in OpenSea it's going to have a little bit of features and stuff in it. So obviously, so these are the three products that's going to be coming up. The marketing would be starting today with the video and few campaigns and some info about all the three products. Um, so so that's where this week stands, and you'll yeah pretty much we'll be starting the marketing by today. That's number one. Number two is we just wanted to touch up a little bit on what's happening, what happened last week as well, just as a recap. So number one is we announced one of our consultancy projects, right? So one of the consultancy projects, Our Planet. Some of you may have attended the the Twitter Spaces. Some of you maybe not. So just wanted to talk a little bit on it to just make you guys understand or make it clear what it means, right? What it means for us to be involved with projects like this, and what does it mean when PG consultancy is involved in a project. So essentially, we want to okay. If you think of this, right, there are companies like let's say JP Morgan or KPMG, and all these consulting firms that in Web two, and in a sense, like companies like KPMG and JP Morgan, they make in multi billions, like in terms of being just a consultant, right? It's one of the most important feature that's kind of like not looked upon, like as in like even being an engineer or whatever. Like engineering consultancy is one of, like it's really an important an aspect. So PG consultancy is pretty clearly a differentiation from any of the launchpad projects. I announced clearly that I'm not going to be joined in as an advisor in any other project. I'm kind of, the term was misunderstood, and and mistake from my end as well. Was also like, I'm even scared to use the word learning after the Zagabond incident, but it was a learning curve even for me at the end of the day, like for us not to, like how the word the advisor was misused by a lot of projects. Yeah, I'm like I like a lot of this, not just me, a lot of them have done it. But I think at least, like I wanted to make it clear that for as holders, you guys are important for me. PG is always number one. So at least to make it clear and no more, for people not to be stressed, like, oh my god, oh no, Shan is an advisor for another like 100th project just because it's getting us whitelist, but it's can screw up PG's name. So first thing, I recognize that, and I'm kind of like openly announcing it again that I'm never going to take up, except for some things like meme land, obviously, where we are getting whitelist spots, being part of it. It means nothing, like it's a super hyped, like project, or a really well-known brand coming in. It's dumb for us not to take it in, like take an option like that, except for that, except for super well-known people. Let's say Little Baby, for instance, right? So I'm not saying there's something coming up, but let's say Little Baby something is coming up, and if it may involve Gojira, or like, or my, like Gojira's name or my name, for instance, we don't want to miss that opportunity purely for the marketing sake, not to push and, like just shill their projects or something. It's purely for the reach when it's there on the website, for more people to reach, because this is a guy with like 20 million followers in Instagram and 6 or 7 million in Twitter. To an extent, like we will be really careful with what names we're associating. So this is why we came up with this PG consultancy. So what consultancy means is pretty much just like any project, right? You have a consultant, means that you are gonna just help them with from the back end, not necessarily from the front end, like putting just our names and stuff up front, but from the back end, just helping them with some connections, helping them with understanding the market, helping them connect to dev work or whatever, like an A to Z kind of thing. So a Web2 brand that wants to come in with an idea, how they want to proceed, they've got some money upfront that they want to invest in. How do they go forward with this? Many don't know, right? Even from simple things like giving them advice on the mint price or the mint method and stuff like that. It doesn't mean that we are using our name to sell them out. We are very clear about it. So we do not we do not tell them that there will be 100 tweets from my account or something, even from PG's Twitter. If you may see, we have been helping a lot of projects already under the consultancy, but we haven't been posting 100 times in our Twitter, shilling about a project. PG consultancy is pretty much a service that let's say it's open for the public to onboard them. It's not necessarily have to be an NFT project. It just has to be even a product or a DApp or a SaaS or a service that a Web2 brand is looking to drop in the Web3, but we could be there, the facilitator for those things. So how does it benefit? That's the main question, right? So number one is obviously, as mentioned, we all work in a salary, so every entire funds is pretty much into our vault, as in like into our treasury rather, and as and when we start distributing whatever rewards whenever we do that. That's going to be obviously like growing. So if we can grow this and bring in a lot more um, like like decent projects or consultancy or any of these kind of things, it would pretty much like help us grow not just our brand but also like our our treasury. So that's number one. So the project that we are launching is, I mean, like we are consulting is Our Planet. It involves like it's a women-driven, women-led project, and one of them was the co-founder of Bumble. So we and already like they have advisors like Zeneca and Joe Shong had signed up. So like it's not just PG consultancy as such. So it's individual names as Zeneca and Josh and Gojira by itself. So this is pretty much the thing, and that's pretty much it, right? There's no, it doesn't mean like, please clearly understand that I'm once again like kind of making it really clear. Any PG consulting project or any PG launchpad projects doesn't mean that we expect our holders or anybody to just ape in, but it's purely for us to just make sure that the team is vetted, make sure that the team is we got all the details of the team, that for that they're docs, that they have a decent product coming up, but it's not necessarily for shilling. We avoid just random tweets, multiple random tweets or retweets and stuff, right? Even for them, that we make it really clear. So doesn't mean that as holders or anybody you just have to ape in. It's purely you read it, you like it, you buy. If not, just stay away. Absolutely, it's not. We're not leveraging our holders or our followers to try and like mint out a project, right? That's exactly why we move towards this consultancy thing, because just because this project is going to sell out, we do not get like a percentage of the mint for Our Planet. So I'm making it really clear. So we do not get we do not get a percentage of sales from Our Planet. So it doesn't have to. So I cannot like it's basically there's no incentive for us to come and shield the project. So this is how we are shifting the narrative, right? We are essentially taking an upfront charge. We took a. I'm being open about this. We took a 10 ETH payment, right? As I said, like PG is all about transparency. So there's nothing for us to hide. So we get a 10 ETH payment for any of these consultancy work and stuff. We just help them. We get on meetings, myself, RNA, Ruben. We get on meetings. We just help them set some direction. We give them an hours, like hours worth of work, couple of maybe Discord AMAs or cases, and that's it. Like we this is where the consultancy stops. We do not have to go and shill the product to mint for them to mint out, and then I don't want this to come back and be like, you guys are getting 5% sales. That's why you mint, like that's why you shield. If tomorrow something like that happens, we can exactly tell what we were paid, exactly tell what our role was, and it stops there. So I'm just like this is not Shan, it's just PG, right? It's not coming to my pocket or the team's pocket. Just want you guys to be clear about it. And this PG consultancy is open even for our holders at a much obviously discounted rate. If anybody wants like any kind of connections, like you guys come up with an idea, you want to position it. So it's essentially like the clear differentiation between Jira Tank, Launchpad, and PG consultancies. It will be evident, right? So we'll be posting an article about it. So Jira Tank is where we fund for it and we run the project. Consultancy is where we help you with all the connections, we help you with the direction, help you with whatever is needed without shilling your project. Launchpad is where we essentially completely come in and we take over or we help the project launch. Launchpad is going to be super restricted. We're going to be very picky on which projects we pick. Maybe like 1 in 3 months, maybe, or 1 in 6 months, whatever it may be. But Launchpad is essentially not going to be a major. It gave us a lot of money to the treasury, as I mentioned multiple times before. But we do not want to, not in this market, until unless we get like a solid Web2 brand that wants to come into a launchpad or something like that. We wouldn't be, entertaining that. So this is pretty much the thing I wanted to tell about the consultancy and this thing. Number two, just a sec, crypto hash. I've sent you a proposal on Twitter whenever you have time. Oh, I completely forgot about it. I'll definitely have a look. So it's gonna be, it'll be much easier for you guys to submit these kind of things, like through a UI or something, rather than just with messages or DMs. As we move towards the market, the marketplace, the gasless one, for instance, where you just vouch a little bit of Jira tokens, you get on a call, just so that we save from the time wasters or whatever, or we even set a minimum like Jira tokens, like 50 or 100 or whatever, for holders to just get on a call, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, or whatever the call, just to expedite your ideas or your request and stuff, right? So it'll be much easier for us got Jira Genesis, Gen 2, and Jiraverse holders to get on a call or something like that with the team or anybody from the team. So yeah, I'll have a look at it, Crypto Hash, for sure. All right. So number two that happened was the Littles collab. What was announced. I think Amresh was on the spaces. So Littles is, I think some of you may know, or a lot of you may know from. I mean, the OGs might know about the project. So Littles is run by Will. So Littles is a project that's got like partnerships slash collab with Time, the Time magazine, and the Time. So Littles is pretty much like a pretty decent project. I mean, they had their ups and downs, but in that sense. But so we have partnered with Littles as one of the five projects. I think they're stopping there for now. So there's five projects: that Cyberkongs, Kaiju's, and I think obviously Gojira and Cool Cats. So where we as Gojira holders, we have our own skin and stuff in the game. There's a effective Jira burning mechanism inside the game, so which is available only for the five partners. So there's a lot of pretty much like mini games where only Jira holders can participate, to win the prize under the Jira section, for instance, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what the Littles thing is. So we'll be working with them to kind of add more and more, let's say, like token usage within their ecosystem, like in any sense that could help. And all the Gen 2 holders are whitelisted for the mint. I think it's a free mint, if I'm not mistaken. It's a free mint. um, Amresh, just correct me if I'm wrong. From what I know, it's a free mint, and that only unique wallets, um, only unique wallets will be taken. So it's not one per Gen 2 apparently, because it's really hard for them to read it. So it's basically, there'll be a snapshot. There's going to be one per wallet, but I don't think it's a very yeah, I think it's, yeah, pretty much it's like one per wallet or something like that for this thing. So the snapshot will be taken by today, I think. Yeah. So it's more than the tickets or the whitelist. I think the important thing here is that we were approached as one of the like say the five projects that they valued, which is what I'm seeing here. And as I'm seeing, in this market, for them to reach out to us, and along the likes of say Cyberkongs and Kaiju's and Cool Cats, we are they're pretty much stopping with this five, and for us to be one of the five to have our own skin in the game, have some prizes to be won. We are not contributing anything for the prize pool, so it's almost like literally like a free play to win for our holders. So that's pretty much what I'm seeing here and taking a positive. That we are one of those 4 or 5 projects that they reached. There's not a new collection of Littles. It's more like like an extension. It's a free mint for you to participate in like some arcades. It's like more like tickets, where you could just participate in this arcade games. They have like small mini games that's being built, and you could win some Little Sex Gojira skin or something. So which can fetch you some, NFTs or gifts or PS5 or whatever the gift price. I think they've got quite a few gifts in the pool, like like a PS5, Nintendo Switch, some game items. I'm not sure if some iPhone or whatever. So they've got like few free things to be won, just like a fun thing that they're bringing out. So yeah, that's pretty much what Little's collab is about. This is what happened from the Little side of things last week. Um, what else is an announcement or any changes? Had a really good chat with a few of our holders again this week. A lot of points was brought up, from their end, like what they feel, what's like just the positives and also the negatives. um, One thing I really want to mention is like we are definitely trying our best to improvise every day, right? It's we are going by like one step at a time kind of thing. It's a bear market. We're not slowing down, right? We're not slowing down. We're not gonna. Nothing's changing. Just because it's bear or whatever, we 100% are putting in our all. And yeah, I think a lot of them get excited for a celebrity buying NFT rather than an actual product or what we are putting in, right? And which is something that's what we realized is I've been like I being an idea like I kind of go on Twitter and be like, oh, celebrities buying NFT, and you guys just go and ape into projects, like come on, like we gotta be better than this and stuff like that, right? But at the end of the day, what I fail to realize is that like celebrities coming in is kind of like just a validation for people, probably because it's just an excitement side of things, like just posting that, like I didn't know I was like it's not that we are working on something, right? We are working on something. We are kind of signed an agreement on something, for instance with Lil Baby, and this, like it's just a start, right? But just that announcement that he's in, and a lot of them, for a lot of them, he's like a favorite, let's say an artist or something, or at least they know that it's just bringing that excitement back in this buy market. So and obviously I think that's like that's something where we haven't utilized our network in that sense, like because I've never asked or never went and like spoke to a celebrity contact that we have got, to go and go and be like, yo, can you go and get something or get our project or something? Because I'm like, it doesn't matter, like if they want to buy, they buy. So Lil Baby actually bought it by himself either ways, not that we requested. I've never requested, to be honest, to anybody. um, Purely he bought it by himself. But the thing is, next, I mean, like with all our celebrity or who all our connections, I think henceforth, if moving forward, I think is you're gonna. I mean, I'm gonna pretty much just throw in a request, because it kind of excites few people. It's not to pump our floor, but rather at least um, you know this thing. What is it? Instead of at least like what to say, like just discounting or ignoring them, kind of thing. All right. Ever approach sports team? Like there's like few sports teams we are connected with. As I said, like we I mean I mean it's more like the marketing side, right? Like it's a completely a different game. It's like, say for example, youths literally ran on celebs coming in, and big names buying and stuff. um so, like I think that's where I kind of think last week Amresh had a marketing AMA as well, like describing about this. So I'm kind of leaving it to those guys to run the marketing side of things. But yeah, I think, see, that's the thing, right? There's one thing about being being honest, being open and stuff like that, but at another on the other side, I think there needs to be more reach, right, from for the new crowd to come in, especially in this market, when like things are super slow and things are like kind of dying. It's important that a lot more people know about what's coming or what's happening. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the thing, right? So there's some sports teams, there's sports people that we are connected with. They reached out to us asking for like some kind of marketing and stuff. And yeah, we didn't encourage it at that time, because we wanted it to be organic and all those kind of things. But yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, we need a little bit of a change now. The new team is pretty much handling those things. So any kind of contacts, or anybody reaches out, any kind of celebs come out, or whoever sports people, we are pretty much gonna like try and utilize their network in a better way. I think this, which is where I think we will see how the new team is doing. Like once the marketing team, the new marketing team, as they run, we'll know better about it.
Yeah. Hey, Sean. I also wanna tell you guys about our new research development team that we put together. So we start the team already in August. We're gonna do the formal announcement in a week or so, I think. The importance of us, we know that we're the project that come up with ideas and things like that. It's important for us to start really focusing on narrowing down these ideas and making sure we create something really new, brand new, and uh, eventually we want to change the space and things like that. That's something that we already started working on, and it's going to be our another focus that we want to create some really good product that's might gonna change some people's lives. Who knows? So we're
Yeah.
gonna do a lot of emphasis, a lot of focus on this, and this team is pre-independent. It's gonna work, by itself, just like marketing team. It's gonna have its own focuses and things like that. So we're gonna be behind this team and looking forward. So, like I said, a really good team that we put in together, and we're gonna do the formal announcement down the line.
Yeah. So I think I think R&D. So I think there's this question about how do we bring back excitement, or just see, the as I said, the aim at this stage is not to just come and like just try and pump up the floor, and then like you have to sustain it, as I have mentioned. So if the product is good, what products or whatever products that we're going to launch is going to be good by itself, the word is not going to be it's not going to be hidden, like there's going to be that's when we use our YouTubers. Like right now there's no point in us going and being like hyping up stuff, but like we launch the product, you guys test it. Once we get your feedback for the first 2-3 weeks, all these products you're going to give your feedback, go through bugs and stuff. Things are clear, right? Once things are really clear, there's V2, V3s and stuff coming up. But before the V2 comes up, that's when we could literally go forward and use all our YouTubers. Like as I said, right? It's not like it's not important. Like we are, for Amir Hussain, for instance, right? His holders will get access to our marketplace, right? But he's got a big following. But we haven't even used any of these guys to pretty much be like, yo, can you go and tweet about it yet, right? Or you talk about it, or talk about Gojira on YouTube, or talk about this thing or whatever. Like if we need, we can do it, but we don't want to just do it before for no reason, right? Like you need to. We want the product to speak for itself. Whatever products we launch, as holders, it's exciting to just have a pumped up floor, or if it keeps like the floor keeps flying, it's nice to see that. Not gonna lie, 100% I agree, because I even posted a tweet today about how I've been a bag holder, and there's hundreds of ETH of NFTs that I bought in the top, and it's kind of like it's a big hit as such. But 100% I understand that. So the point what I'm trying to make is, like, we have a product, let's let you guys give your feedback, we improvise the product, make sure the product is spick and span in, like, let's say 2 weeks from now. Then we use the guys whom we have got, like, it's not like we're not connected. As you guys may know, we are very very close with Champs, we are very close with Kosher, what is it, Amir Hussain, all these YouTubers or whatever, and also, like, some of the celebs and stuff like that. It's just that we didn't want to, like, maybe, as I said, like, maybe we didn't just want to come and use them for no reason, like, but when you have a reason, for instance, let's say the tools what we launch, is that, like, let's say the tools we launch, and let's say it's really good, for instance, right, where it competes with NFT nerds and few other features. That's our aim. Like, V1, V2, and V3. Like, V1 is gonna have like basic, pretty decent access, but V2 and V3 would have like more features that you would one-stop tool, for instance, for a lot of things. Like, you have this degen flips or whatever tools that you have that you wanted to be integrated. You're gonna hear your feedback a week or two. We'll deliver that within as part of this tool, right? Because the infrastructure is completely built to expand. So if this tools by itself, just saying, like, for example, like, as one value, that's like gonna get like an unlimited access, we're gonna become a purely independent project. Like, when you think of it, a project where we are self-sufficient. We do not have to depend on another project, in the sense where you do not go and be like, oh, Project Gojira has collabed with NFT nerds to get 25% discount, or if they shut down, we shut down, right? That doesn't, like, or the value is gone. So we are looking to become like a self sufficient ecosystem, where everything is within us, the products are within our ecosystem, right? So if that is legitimately the we can achieve that, right, with the tools launching and all those things, why would we need to just go and pump up for no reason, when there's actual reason for people to be like, oh, I'm paying like zero point 0.1 ETH a month for this, zero point zero 0.06 ETH for this tool, or this minting bot or minting stuff is like another zero point 0.3 ETH or whatever, and they look at it and be like, oh, just by holding a Gen 2 or a Genesis, I get access to these things. So I think 100% that's the point there. And the shit posting side of things, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, as I said, maybe you guys may like it, but that's not my style. Like, that's I've never built this as a team. We never built a brand by just shit posting or memes. Like, how long is it sustainable? Like, what's yeah, I don't know whether you're looking to Suhan. Like, I'm like, your questions mainly, like, for me, I'm like, I understand the point, but also the question is, are we looking to build a long term brand, or are we just looking to, like, pump up for the short term and maybe a month or two? But how long is this shit posting and meme culture, or this thing is just gonna carry a project in the front? Maybe, yeah, maybe a little more exposure in the start, but it changes the way your project is built. It's not, we didn't build this way. Like, for example, what seals are doing is amazing. It's really good. But the question is just that, would that be enough to move forward? Plus, second thing is, are those what you consider like professional in terms of a team side of things, moving forward, right? So anyway, so the point is, I'm not against it, but I can't go and do it myself. I do not want to do it. Not in our brand. We didn't build our brand that way, right? It gets engagement. It might create a little bit of pump for a medium term. We have been very clear from the start what we are doing. We are a startup. We keep developing services, products, and our holders will get first access, slash like unlimited access or free access. At the same time, a way for us to give back, like, the profits, or when the profits are sustainable, for a way to give back or burn the tokens or buy back tokens and burn them, or drop ETH or whatever is needed, right? So, but for that, you have to have like proper sustainable pay system and all those things set up. No project's doing it yet, but that's why we are not dependent on VC funds to stop us from doing that. So as and when our services and products, like, start, kind of like reaching out a lot more people, obviously, that will be much easier. So from the shit posting side, I think if you guys, you're gonna do it yourself, you're not gonna stop it. But I mean, we're not gonna go down that route. And Jamie's posted the R&D, a little bit of insight into the R&D team, as a group. Maybe, as I said, we are bad at like, I used to leak a lot of stuff beforehand in Genesis chat. I used to talk a lot. I used to kind of like whatever was happening, I used to inform. But like, we are kind of restricting from that, just because like few people, like, it's just, things were just going out and stuff. But I think, yeah, that's why we have this town hall. At least, like, we can slowly release this kind of info, like, this R&D team or whatever we are doing. So that's the way that we are moving. We strongly believe that our products and services is going to speak for itself, in the sense for onboarding and for building a sustainable business or model. And the feedback form is obviously there for you guys to post if there's something that you feel like can be added. 100%, like, we could definitely try to look at it. To be honest, shit posting on work, compromise in a way. I mean, like, again, making people happy. What is, like, just by like, let's say like 5 celebrities buying tomorrow, makes you happy, right? Maybe you're not going to dump. Let's say the floor goes back to 3 ETH, or something. But after that, if you do not have something sustainable, it's pretty much going to fall back down. So I mean, I get your point. We definitely look into it, those kind of videos or those kind of marketing stuff. Obviously, you're part of the team as well, Suhan, so you can definitely bring this up. I'm not sure if you brought this up. I think yeah, you did bring it up probably to G or somebody. I think. So we are definitely looking into it, but we do not want to just jump in and change the way the marketing team is. Like we just want to give them a little bit of time, like a week, a month or two, to see how how their method, whether it's working or not. If obviously if it's not delivering or if it's not giving us the results we intend to, then yeah, obviously we would be looking to change. We're not going to be rigid. We're not going to try and move a rock when it's not moving, but we're just going to give the marketing team a time, their time, because we trust the people who are in. One of the guys. I mean, like few, like as I said, like I think Amresh mentioned last time. This is a guy who's worked for Lego, and there's another guy. I'm not sure if Bart is doxed. RNA, if I can post his LinkedIn here.
Yeah, I reckon he's doxed, so I don't
Right.
think that you
So,
will have a problem with him doxing.
right. So this is one of the guys as well, like who's in our team for the marketing, which we recently. Oh wait, why is the link not working? It's working. Sorry. So this is one of the guys who's in our team as well. Like he's pretty experienced guy. He's 50 plus. He's a Gojira holder, and he's been a creative marketing director. So we didn't have any of these before. So it's a completely month, 2 weeks back versus now. It's a different kind of a situation in terms of the marketing side. So we want to wait to first see how this team is working or how they're delivering. So this is a guy who's again a Gen 2 holder. We met him in Singapore. He came with us. His friend of RNA, and another guy Kemuri, brother of Sakata, our own core team member, Ken, his brother Kemuri. So he's worked for Lego as marketing advisor director. So we have a marketing team now, and we just want to give them a little bit of time to do their work. From just I'm just listening to them. I'm holding as much as possible from not just randomly just posting or tweeting something. I'm just going to give them that time that they need to see how they're delivering. Yeah, but we are built different to a lot of other projects, so we would kind of make sure that the narrative of PG is intact, but at the same time, get these guys. We are getting noticed, guys. Like Swan, like if you're not noticed, why the fuck would little baby just go and pick up a Gojira? Like as I said, like we are getting noticed. It's just that we don't go and blow it up. We Before somebody used to buy, I don't come and tweet about it, maybe, but now it's different. Like before I used to be like, okay, you're buying, it's fine, you're just another person, right? But now maybe tweeting about it, a few other people are knowing that it's happening. That's probably the mindset change that I've also brought up within me, because I really am not a big just fan of just trying to hype up something just because one person is buying. You guys are equal, the same as a celebrity or a founder or anybody, right? So yesterday, two people bought Genesis. They're pretty much just they're not like celebrities or something, but one of them is a big whale. Like the guy, his name is Ben, friend of Bones, Genesis holder. He's a big whale in the sense, like he's invested in ETH from 2015-16. Um, so so he's pretty much giving us a lot of insights. He wants to kind of help us as well. He's pretty much like a really good addition to the community, I would say. He doesn't spend a lot of time in Discord as expected, because like he's pretty let's put it this way, he's pretty rich, and he doesn't spend enough time on any discords. He just keeps buying. And I've met him like twice or thrice, never forced him to buy a Gojira. He just kept talking about what's coming or what we're doing, and he liked it. And he wanted to buy into a product where he doesn't have to go and keep checking the flow, but just come back after a few years or something. He's that type of a guy, like like pretty much like how we buy stocks. So not someone easy to convince. So I never convinced. We just spoke about the product and stuff, and I mean whatever we are doing for like 2-3 meetings, and then he picked up yesterday. So yeah, I mean definitely I think I want to just give our marketing team a little their own this thing. I strongly believe that they've got really good capabilities from Web 2. right? So one of the guys, obviously, we sent the LinkedIn, and the other guys are also like equally talented, if not more. But yeah, I mean, like, so I just want to give them a little bit of time to do that. So that's pretty much what I got to say. Yeah, I mean, so at least, like, I don't want to like, I think don't want to get into trouble at this stage. I think that's my team and the legal team's advice. But to be very clear, just using that maybe and also using the NFA and all those things. I've told multiple times that our aim, as in, you got to be, and you got to understand that you got to make probably like $10 million or something first as an income or a revenue to even think about this from our side. So this is like, you have to first reach that point, which we are 100% going to reach. It's just a matter of when. It's almost all the things, like how I tweeted, like in the OG stage, like it's not a matter of if but when, right? So as soon as that happens, obviously, like, our aim is to treat the or treat the Genesis as the equity that's never going to change, right? If there's a point where we are even going public, right? For instance, if you're going public and there's going to be equity or whatever that's coming up, that's going to be essentially given to the Genesis, right? Whatever percentage that may be, that will be split. You just KYC, you claim the stocks or whatever that may be. I'm saying even if we go public, I'm just giving an example, not saying that we are doing that. But so equity, that's what it means. For the Gen 2s, it's basically the tokens, where there could be more of tokens airdrop, like a one-time drop, like ape tokens, burn back of tokens, adding more dollars to the liquidity pool, or it's pretty much like, as I said, like a dividend. There's a difference between a dividend and equity side, right? So that's the aim that we are taking up, right? So between the Genesis and Gen 2 kind of thing. So so I'm going to leave it there. It's a startup, guys. Again, I've got to emphasize on it. It's not going to happen tomorrow, right? It's okay if you guys have to wait to buy something because you're like, I do not have the money now. I have to burn something to get in now and stuff. It's okay if you have to take your time to come into the ecosystem or something, but you don't know when it's going to happen. That's speculation. You don't know. Tomorrow, suddenly there could be an announcement, guys, this is what's happening. And then by the time you wake up, the flow could be eaten up, right? This is what happens most of the time. So it's all speculation at the end of the day. Don't fall for speculation. You cannot, like, just keep beating the game that way, right? So it's completely for you guys to just understand the direction or the mindset that the team has, the direction that we are looking to take. So yeah, that's pretty much the mindset or the direction from the team side. Um, yeah, pretty much that's what I have to say, and a little bit on the Jiraverse side, because that's something that's been bothering. As I said, like, VX is by this month, and a lot of our focus on the Jiraverse would be the quarter 4. We'd be announcing what you can do with your VX. It's not just to play around in sandbox or play around stuff. We are looking to kind of utilize some new utility. That's the R&D team and stuff, the new utility. The Jamie and me were exploring, for a while we were exploring the artificial reality component, which was stated in our website as well. So there's, like, it's not just about like tokens and stuff or what CyberKongs is doing, like, with the VX. That could also be obviously a part of what we are looking to do, but we also have to kind of bring a sustainable use case for the VX and stuff. So first, the VX drop is within like few days, right? Like by it's another 4 days, we end of month and stuff. So once the VX claim is done, and then we'll be announcing the what you can do with the VX and what are the products that's being developed and stuff. And also Jiraverse gets access to our to our marketplace. And for the tool side of things, we'll be specifying a minimum number of VXs that you got to hold to get access. So maybe we'll specify the number. So it won't be Jiraverse that you got to hold. It'll be probably VX that you got to hold for access, kind of thing. So we'll talk about more about it. When is Jira tool plan to launch with Jira integration? First, so once the Jira tool is out, the next step is for you guys to test it, maybe a week or two or three or whatever, 1 to 2 weeks or whatever. So I pretty much would say like maybe in like 2 weeks to 3 weeks, I think should be a good time for us to get your feedbacks from the community, add few more features, and should be good for the public side. So I mean, I don't hold me for it, but I would say minimum. I think 2 to 3 weeks is pretty decent after we launch the product. But like 3 weeks would be essentially achievable from our end. But yeah, I think the timeline, as I said, Swan, like we are only going to talk about quarters, like pretty much like a Web 2 company. We do not want to give a random date and then don't want to look like a fool like if we can't do it. There's a lot of other intricacies. So it's going to be like everything is going to be spoken on quarterly basis. So next quarter is also going to be fun. There's quite a lot of things that would be coming from us. So quarter 4 would be pretty much like we have this base. This in this quarter we launch these products, but quarter 4 we would be coming up with like, a lot more stuff. Right? Any other questions? Drop some alpha on the legal strategy. Um, so we have formed a team of apart from our legal side of team and advisory, we have also formed a team of Web3 legals from our community, like from Genesis and Gen2 holders. To be honest, so it's pretty nice. Like we connected them with even Hustler or Genesis holder. He wanted some help with some legal stuff for one of the teams that he's working with. Yeah, I think that's a pretty a cool thing, like to have people from different countries to go through the regulations and stuff. So somebody from the Europe, somebody from Asia, nobody from Australia, unfortunately, but somebody from the US. So this definitely helps, like to take a lot of decisions. So these guys are going to help us a lot as well, like for a lot of decisions, and they've come up with a lot of different ideas, loopholes. How do we make this a reality pretty soon? Because as soon as NFTs start issuing or being called a equity, it becomes a security, and once it becomes a security, there's so much of scrutiny, which means things can be shut down. So that's exactly why we got to tread really careful with how we move this. So NFTs are not equity. So NFTs are consumer products, which is exactly why, as holders, you got to know that you cannot be suing anybody. Like it won't stand in the legal court. You cannot sue even if a guy for rugs and he shuts down his NFT project. You cannot go and sue him because NFTs are not considered at all as equities or anything. It's purely considered as a consumer thing. So you can go and file a lawsuit maybe as a consumer again, I mean, in the consumer court. But again, it's a very gray area because it's not like a food product or it's not like a car to measure, right? It's purely like a consumer, it's a consumer product. So this is what NFTs are being recognized as in the courts and the legal system, right? So yes, I agree to Don Pute, which is what we are looking to do. So we will have a just like how we have infinite studios for our dev work, we would have a PG law firm, right, for Web3, which is going to be should be making us good money, and also the guys who are involved should be making them a lot of money because a lot of I'm not saying this right. If regulations come up, 90% of our bags are fucked. Right, 90% of our bags are fucked because majority of them are not even running like an entity or a company. They're just doing what they feel like because it's decentralized. So even for me, it includes even my bags. I'm not just saying you guys. You got to be really careful about which like say something like meme land, very safe, very safe. I don't know whether they're gonna. I'm not talking about the floor in the sense um, because 9gag is our entity and they're bringing Web3, so they're going through full like a full proper legal way. We are going through a legal way. We're not just announcing things. We are checking and we are going through our business, like a business model. A lot of them do not don't even since it's centralized decentralized, they just keep doing shit. So if tomorrow for whatever reason there's an announcement, we wake up to an announcement that we wake up to an announcement that NFTs are considered as like legal entities or something. Most of the projects are screwed. So I think as NFT investors or NFT holders, um, you pretty much got to understand that you got to be careful with whatever projects you're buying, assuming what, so assuming what you're buying something, or thinking about, or assuming what, and if tomorrow if something like that comes up, what's going to happen to your bags, or how the team is going to handle. Yeah, so that's really something that's missing in the space. So yeah, I think because no one knows many people's names, so that's the thing. Um, so consideration. Yeah, so that's what hey we go. That's what I told a while back. So NFTs in general are considered as a consumer thing, so which is why we are looking to of how we could which I think we have found. As I said, we're just confirming, but we got quite a few options. So we do not have to do anything else. It's just we got to make sure that the way we treat our holders, we make sure we KYC before we pay you, for instance, right? There's a KYC um, process before we pay you, rather than just be sending you ETH. So if you don't want to claim it, it could be sitting in your behind your NFT, and whenever you're ready to KYC, for instance, then you can claim the ETH. So it's there forever, locked to your NFT, for instance. This is one solution that they cannot come behind us, because we are only allowing people who KYC, but we cannot do the KYC. We have to have an external proper audit for the KYC and stuff. So, but it kills a little bit of the decentralization, thing, right? That's not, you don't want to reveal who you are and all those kind of things, which is why it's gonna be behind the NFT, right? Um, so behind the NFT in the sense, and you can pretty much sell that at a discounted price, like a 5% discount to another person who's in Dubai or something, who's ready to KYC and claim it. So it's a win-win for everybody, right? So effectively, that's the one of the ways, but we are also being suggested few other ways how we can do that. So we're not changing our narrative 100%, right? I would also like to ask this real question to people as well, for you guys to think. I know you're buying a lot of projects at 10 ETH, 20 ETH, or 30 ETH, or whatever ETH it may be. And even if the company is making $1 billion or whatever, and it's gone to a VC or something, it's almost impossible to be treated as a equity holder. It's gone. It's pretty much like a consumer. So you get access to all the their ecosystem and stuff. It pretty much becomes a consumer thing. So for me personally, I'm not a fan of that. For me, the valuations are important, the floor versus the value, or the revenue stream. That's really important for me, because I've been an investor, and that's how I've been processing from day one, even before Gajira, right? So when Gajira started, as in a small way, and then when we are moving, I was like 333 is a very decent supply for us to control towards the equity side, and I was like, that makes more sense. Tomorrow, if PG is worth $1 billion, or valuation, or half a billion, I'm not selling dreams here. I'm just stating, or worth 100 million or 50 million or whatever, right? There should be a clear way of how the holders are gonna get a share of that, right? I'm not saying that tomorrow we're gonna become $1 billion brand, but I'm just saying that you have to be prepared. So if tomorrow, if Doodles becomes a $10 billion brand, um, are we going to get a share being one of the 10,000 holders? That's the question that I ask myself. If you go to VC, that's pretty much, it's gone. They're not selling equity or anything. So what is the value that I would get as a holder of NFT? So access to merch, access to maybe metaverse or something. So I think this topic was even discussed last week. I'm not comparing any project. I'm clearly just making few people maybe understand or realize for themselves to make some decisions. Just think about how, as a holder, tomorrow a project's making $1 billion. They do not owe you equity. It's considered a consumer product. So on what basis is the benefit gonna IP is bullshit. I completely disagree that IP is amazing for a 10,000 collection. Maybe you have a one-on-one artwork, or you have a one-on-one artwork, or something like that. Maybe like a 100 product collection or 50 product collection. Maybe IP makes sense. But IP as a value for 10,000, personally, it doesn't make sense to me. Like like that's why I think Moonbirds realized that and they went CCO, because it makes no difference, right? Like just because I can start selling Moonbird T-shirts, right? But as a holder of Moonbird, it doesn't mean that I own it, because it's bullshit. It doesn't make any sense um, to just sell out a project or keep building the narrative that we are only selling the IP side of things. IP is it's a strong value, 100%. It's a strong this thing. You have to use it the right way. Like IP is a thing where as we explained for Evolve, like for last week thing, right? IP is a thing where you get access to change. You kind of like changing your avatars for projects to test something, or only people who have those avatars get access to some ecosystem of like, say for example, for Evolve there is a drop of, say, Ray-Ban glasses and Adidas shirt, and the Ray-Ban glasses could get you a Ray-Ban glass when you burn, for instance, both digital and physical. I mean, both digital and physical, and the shirt can be burned for a thing. Their IP, that's again not IP, that, but at least like there the trade matters. Like trade makes more sense. But I'm just kind of like buying a project purely for IP side. This is again not financial advice. It's purely my view as a holder, as an investor, and like as somebody who's been in stocks and crypto for a while. Just a general advice for you guys to think, like if the direction what the project is going to take, for you guys, like or just for you to sit and think, how is that value going to be delivered, buying a 20 or a 30 ETH NFT or whatever, how that value is going to come back, if not for equity or if not for say dividends. I'm not saying every project that's going to promise this is going to be successful. There's a difference, right? If tomorrow there's going to be 10 projects coming up and say follow our method, for instance, tomorrow we launch this, and let's say they copy this idea or whatever we are doing for our to make it legal, and doesn't mean that that's going to be profitable, but at least there is a chance to make something. Like if those projects become big, there's a chance to make something. Right now it's the only people that are winning is the project founders and the team. Right now the way NFTs are running, I think a lot of you would agree that it's a zero sum game for the investors or the holders, but it's a win. It's a big win situation for the team and nobody else. So this is what we want to change in a legal way kind of thing. So again, like the difference, just understand the difference. It doesn't mean that 100% we are going to have $1 billion revenue in this year, but we are going to give out everything in our hands to every connection, every bit of our energy to try and reach that, because if we have to win together, that's when we make we are also, as a team, we are also have sacrificed a lot of our things. At least for the PG team, I could say that from in terms of us quitting our jobs, or in terms of us coming and working on a monthly pay and stuff. So it's not like we are here to just like just take up 100 ETH each for the team or something like that. So yeah, I mean that's where the difference is, and we are 100%. The narrative is going to be super strong. Till this date, we are still, we have got an amazing story. It's just that more people gotta know or hear about it, right? Like imagine a story of how NFT was started with like not like a free mint, but $0, right? Launched on OpenSea at $0, raised 15 ETH, and at this stage kind of recognized and valued amongst the community. So 100%, like me and Jamie were discussing about how the number one Gojira has to be in Christie's, like for auction, and the narrative is like how you made $1 billion worth of a brand from $0. So this is the narrative, and this is our dream. Like this is something that excites us, that we are passionate about. But at the same time, we know it's not like a piece of cake that we are gonna wake up tomorrow and it's gonna happen. All right. So some projects 100% have been a bit lucky in the sense, like a lot of them loved it. I'm not lucky. The art was amazing, and they were luck in that sense, and people liked it. The flow pumped. They got a lot of money, and then they were able to get in a lot of celebrities easily, or they were able to get a lot of like people like Pharrell Williams or any of those names into the team because they can afford, right? They can afford to pay. But they all started somewhere, and the community obviously loved the the artwork or whatever, because it's not exactly the team that they knew who they were, but it's more of the artwork. They vibed well, and they made a lot of money. It was easier, but for us to reach that kind of a level, to bring in like high level professionals, is definitely not impossible, right? Like, it's just hard, it's not impossible, but we are proud of our team. At the end of the day, it's all, even the marketing team or anybody, we all are from web 2, and we all are like, it's a narrative of having like real common people do this, like people from web 2, like people with experience. I mean, like, yes, Pharrell Williams is amazing, but I think so do is Bart, who's worked, who's 55 years old, 30 years of experience, with so much of whatever, like, credentials behind him. So does Ambrish, so does, Kemuri, or so does Jamie, or whoever's in the team. So we do not want to discount anybody, and that's been the narrative from day one. We're not going to compare ourselves with, let's say, the top tier projects at this stage, but 100% we are aiming, or we are definitely working towards it. And we are definitely going to give it our all. Like, we're just going to give our best for that. Right, so we ready to win the WAGMI poll for the best community? Are we going to try hard? Next is versus Memeland. 100%. Cypher Wolf asked this question about the WAGMI, WGMI, the media thing. They're running a poll. The first one, I didn't even know that it was happening. I never retweeted, nor did any. I took any efforts to push that through. Right. Um, but like 100%, we are full on board for this. We are gonna do whatever it takes, retweets, push, giveaways, or whatever is needed. You retweet this, you get giveaways or whatever, like, kind of stuff. 100% we're gonna do it as a community, as a team. I'm surprised we won against Doodles, to be honest, in the sense, considering that I didn't, me or Jamie or PG Twitter didn't do anything. You guys rocked. Like, I think Tata started it, and you guys killed it. Like, this is a community strength, and here is where we can show, like, people like Doodles were questioning when the poll was going on. Doodles, I read the comments, and I was like, they're like, they were just sarcastic. They're like, oh, what even is PG? What even is this? And it takes me back to November and December, where people were teasing about what the fuck is even Gojira, and like they were laughing us out and stuff. So it's okay. I mean, it's nice. It's always nice to prove people wrong, right? And OpenSea has posted this, so whoever wins this, right? Whoever wins this, gets featured on the homepage, as on the featured column, which is a big thing. Like, it's a nice, um, nice win for us. But I'm really surprised. Not surprised, I would say, but I'm really happy rather that you guys as a community, without any push from me or Jamie or or Amresh or anybody, or even Ruben. None of the team members or the core team members pushed for it, and you guys took an initiative amongst yourselves to do this. Um, this makes us this these kind of this is a two-way street, right? We do not expect anything else from you guys except, like, just like, the trust what you show us, and a little bit of patience, and this kind of initiative what you guys take here. It pushes us even more, to be honest. But it pushes us even more when we see how, as a community, we come forward to win something like this. And yeah, next is going to be tough, but we're gonna make this happen. Like, I'm gonna chill the shit out of this, and I'm gonna, like, let's plan. Like, probably I'll have a chat with the marketing team. We can plan some kind of giveaways or whatever is needed, to push all these tweets, and, like, for us to involve all the Jira holders, Jiraverse holders, and everybody who likes the project, to try and, like, come forward, to kind of, like, help us to get through. But yeah, I mean, it was really a nice moment for us when we saw that. I wake up a day later, someone is like, Shan, did you even know that we won the poll? And I'm like, "Yeah, is it like one of those random dumb polls, like where 50 oaths or something is there?" And they're like, no, there was 720 or 720 oaths, and we got like 60%. And I'm like, bro, That's crazy. It's full credits to the community here. I don't think we could take any credits here, right? So full credits to the community for. Um, so yeah, I mean, definitely. Thanks a lot, and even better compliment for us. I would say, to an extent, because you guys, as I said, we are not launching anything, or it's there's no reason for people to just come and suck our dicks or whatever. But just comments like this from, let's say, Kosher, for instance, right? Like he sent me wait, let me just post the thing what he sent me. So I got this from him. Yeah, he was like, he posted. I mean, he's pretty much part of the Wagme media, and he's like voting for you over Doodles or something. Just someone from the space who appreciates and likes our project, who follows it, and that's what I mean. Once we have these solid products or projects, right, it'll be much easier for us to use all these people who are influential in the space to talk about it. Spaces I go on, if it means I do 7 AMs a day across different communities to make sure PG reaches or the product reaches, I would be doing that. The time where I'm going to put in as much as needed. The team is going to do that, but we need the product out first. If someone asks what am I going to get, we have to be like here, here, and here. But we do not want to be like, oh, we partnered with A, B, C, D, E, and you get all the benefits of A, B, C, D, E. But rather, we developed A, we developed B, we developed C, we developed D, and you as a holder gets A, B, C, D. This is the I want to utilize these spaces or these people for once, but nail it with the proper set of products and services in hand. So I'm happy to be the underdog at this stage, right? Let's It's okay for us to be the underdog. Expectations are at level. Get We do our thing. We get all the services and stuff started. Yeah, of course. After that, how much of a time it takes, you're gonna see me in 3-4 spaces a day. I'm gonna do it, right? So also this Tuesday we have a really guys, we are not being forgotten. First thing, as a community, you guys gotta in case you're worried, mainly Sisuan, I'm just telling it for you as well. We are not fucking forgotten. This guy here, Seth Green, he's got 1 million plus followers. He's invited me for spaces on Tuesday. I think Tuesday US time, Wednesday 2 a.m. I think our time, right? So yeah, I'm going on spaces with him. So we have been getting it. It's just that we have been we had other priorities. We are being noticed. Why does he have to come all of a sudden? Why does Lil Baby have to come to us? Why do we have to be talking with the team of DJ Khaled, for instance, right? That's maybe a leak or whatever, but I'm in talks with for a different reason, right? So so it's they're not just coming just for the sake. So we are doing some stuff. We are being noticed by people outside this, in the Web2 circle, or at least the companies, or these kind of people, rather than maybe within the community. Maybe our floor is not flying, or degens are not jumping in. But I think we are going in the right track, personally, for me, because of the services, or because what we're offering. And I think we definitely have a name in the space which no one can deny as being easily the most trustworthy and transparent team. I think very few teams could take that. As I said, transparent about the pay, or transparent about what we do and stuff, which is rare. So when these kind of people reach out to other communities, or other people or whatever, and they hear or they ask questions about which projects and stuff, our name pops up in a lot of things. Not just from holders, but it does come from people. They're like, I don't know what PG does, but I know one thing. At least these guys are they're open. They put their financials. They talk about this. This is the kind of, at least they don't know what's happening. I understand. I completely cannot deny that. That's pretty much our weakness. But definitely they do know that they do realize or recognize that PG is pretty much um, you know operating better than a lot of business web 2, I mean, sorry, NFT projects, because no one knows what's happening inside the project. So yeah, that's pretty much what we are doing. But there's one small thing is also that we are getting some really cool VIP tickets for some event in LA, California, and this thing, front seat. VIP booth. I won't be able to travel, so it would be raffled off in a marketplace. Possibly there's going to be even like I think it's DJ Khaled's private show as well. I think, but more than that, there is like I'm just it's not just um, it's not just just let's say uh, event that we are looking or whatever, right? It's more about like having the connection for the team and those kind of things. That's really important for us. Right. So what's this? So the utilities education and what's the min price? I remember seeing other kaijus and Jira derivatives bad. Sorry, Jira derivatives doing bad because both OG collections aren't great anyways. Um, Shan, someone at my pet hooligans mentioned that they feel this is not. I was working as lab sweat. It's okay. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, they obviously cannot blame people, right? If they feel that it's not doing well, all they I mean, in real life, right? Again, I'm not. I know a lot of them have bought from secondary and stuff, so I'm not discounting any of that. But as a team, also, people got to think. First thing is, what was the mint price that the team came up with, right? That's the first thing that people have to think. So, a person who's bought something at that price, what the team sold at, it's a 8x at this stage, or a Gen 2, for instance, right? So I don't know what it means by it's not doing well. There was a bull market, things ran up, things got heated. But like I can tell one thing, I never came to my Twitter and hyped up a lot like a lot of other influencers. I didn't be like Kajira is going to be the best project. You guys got to buy in. This is financial advice or anything like that. I've never hyped up, right? It was a natural process that the floor like pumped a little, like people who want to buy. It went to 3 ETH or 4 ETH or 5 ETH. It pumped at the start for multiple reasons. I'm not gonna go into those things, right? But the point is like, what do we define? If this guy at My Pet Hooligans, he's gonna say My Pet Hooligans are shit as well in that sense because what's the floor now? Like they never breached a 2 ETH floor, but I know the team works really hard. We are really close with Luke. He respects us a lot. There's Gojira skin and Gojira stuff in the game. They gave us first access to the games. So what's the floor now? 0.6 ETH. My pet hooligan. So does it mean it's not doing well? It's up to people. Like what to define what's doing well and not doing well is it's on people. If they're gonna just look at the floor and decide whether something is doing well or not, just because Bodep has only dropped 50% from the floor, it's not like it's let's not forget that it's a 60 ETH wiped out from each Bodep. So if it doesn't mean that it's doing good or bad, it's how the public treated it. Like so if people feel that we are not doing well, like from outside the community because of just the floor or just not having a 5 ETH floor or something like that, it's on them. Like it's fine. It's how it is. Like it's the way a project or a company grows is not overnight, right? So for us the most important thing is not to pump our floor or make more people buy, but you as holders, for us to try and satisfy as many logical requests as possible to ensure that you guys are first happy. You guys can sleep peacefully at night, like knowing that okay, I've got my Gojira. I know one thing for sure. It's a startup, I know, but I can wake up not to a news that Gojira team is missing, or Gojira team announced that they are selling the project, or announced that Shan or Jamie is quitting. Right? This is not something that you're gonna see. Right? This is the first step, and first and foremost, that's our main target. Like as holders, it's very like 2,000, 3,000 people at the stage, the Genesis and Gen 2, for you guys to just feel that or bring or believe or have the trust that we are not gonna do some stuff like that. Like tomorrow, if Doodles are offered $1 billion from something, they're gonna sell it like Artifact, right? So the founders are out, the team is out. So we as a team, we are never gonna sell PG. Like um, I don't think ever. Like we even when we offered a decent amount, we never even considered the VC at this stage. Yeah, it's impossible. I mean, very hard to get like VC funding. I mean, the valuations are like shit. Like like in maybe like low side of the millions. Like 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 so that's the kind of value that we get, maybe but before the valuation was different, so we didn't take it at that time, so why should we take it at this time? So we need some purpose in life as well, like me and Jamie and the team, we need purpose in our life. PG is our purpose, right? So this is how we see it. So I pretty much want to quote this, PG is the purpose of my life by Shan. Like, this is legitimately, that's how I see this, right? So this is the confidence that we first want to build or bring upon to the community and the holders first. And the rest of the things would fall in place. These guys who comment that we are shit or whatever, they might not be even in the space like after 3 months. They do not even know, they do not even know what, um, how do I say? What's it? Yeah. So what I was saying? Yeah. So they don't even know how projects or anything work. So what's going to happen is these guys are not going to be in the space by the time the space becomes bigger. So um, it's easy to comment. They don't know what's happening. It's fine. But just to feel rest assured, this is how I started seeing this. If somebody's gonna speak bad about a brand, it's okay. Just like I really liked what B Money was doing. To the comments in the WGMI media when doodles were like, "What the fuck is PG or what even is PG or something?" He was like, "Bro, I'm more than happy to explain. Get on the DMs. I'll just tell you what's happening. Join in the spaces or something." So those kind of comments were nice to see from the community side. So it was not something we pushed for or anything, right? So so that's the kind of thing that we how we feel or how we think. So PG is pretty much like our life at this stage, and it's gonna be like that way, no matter what. That's we're gonna keep striving to reach that point, and we definitely need your support in as many ways as possible. We don't expect too much, but at least we need like a bit of trust, at least this could be at least let's say your one project where you don't just keep checking your flow, but rather just be like, okay, I trust the team, I'm just going to work peacefully, just come back weekly once at least, just see the AMA recaps, see what's happening, and pretty much go back, continue your life, right? So this, at least we want to turn this project into one of those, and yeah, that's pretty much how it is for me. And also just wanted to let you guys know that we have a massive holder base in Philippines. So my thoughts and prayers. There's a massive typhoon in Philippines happening right now. So hope our holders and their family and other people are safe. So any help, any kind of if there's any post work calamity charity or something, we might be contributing something to our holders. They're running JCI Manila, so we'll be more than happy to kind of like from my personal funds as well, or even from the team as well, whatever we can. More than happy to donate. So I'm just like I'll talk to Brain about it. And yeah, I mean, any of the Filipino holders here, just to let me know if you guys or anything that we could do from our end, just some supplies or any kind of issue. So more than happy to help from our end. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Unless anyone's got any more questions. 4 a.m. wake up. 1.5 hours new record. Is it for it being less, or I think I've been trying to keep a lot of my AMAs or spaces really short now because I'm not going on and on like before. But I think I'm pretty much really conscious about it now. I don't think it's exceeded like, I mean the first 3-4 months was crazy. It used to be like, used to go for hours, like the non OGs, I think you might not know, but it used to go for like 7 hours. And I mean, I think even non OGs, I think they even didn't know this thing, right? Um, We had there was a time when there was also about like what is it like we were I was like pretty much like cyber pretty much from Pixelmon. He was pretty much clueless and he didn't know what to do with the money, and nobody was like everybody was stressed. No one was taking actions because a lot of influencers spoke so highly about Pixelmon that they couldn't go and do shit, and they started talking trash about Pixelmon but they didn't do anything. And then I spoke to Cyber and I was like kind of helping him to be like kind of just giving this thing where you made the money but just got to do the right thing and stuff. And I invited him for a Twitter Spaces, first to kind of ask those tough questions, and also for him to kind of like start thinking about how we can do or what is the best method to move forward. More like a not an advisor side of things, but just was reached out by their one of the teams, right? And then I wanted to do something from my end for the space, and there was so much of FUD for it because they were like, Shan doesn't have to be involved, you don't have to be involved in all those kind of things. And there was a Twitter space. I mean, there was a Discord AMA going on for like 9 hours straight. Just kind of me explaining to them about this is not gonna screw up our brand, or I'm not going in as an advisor or something. Um, yeah, but like just that explanation was going on for 9 hours on the Discord, like where me just explaining that guys don't worry, it's nothing like we're not gonna associate our name, but I'm letting you guys know what we lost as well. We lost $14 million, right, for our vault. So there was so much of FUD from our community that day that initially I think the Genesis knew it, like I posted about it. Um, the Genesis, I mean, it was mainly the holders that was FUDding, like not from outside. It was the holders who fought really hard. Miovi came in and he kind of started some shit. We were supposed to be getting 20% of the equity of Pixelmon for us to help them, just be a board of directors to help them. So were offered 20% of equity, and that was $14 million. They had 70 million and $14 million straight to our treasury just to be the board of directors for one of the board of directors for Pixelmon, to kind of just help them like from a consulting point of view. And it was such a night 9 hours trying to explain. So many people were fuming, and I can understand the sentiment was really bad around the project, so they didn't want us to kind of like jump in. But essentially that was our one of the biggest consulting gigs that we kind of missed in that sense. But thinking about it now, we could have had those 14 million than these guys having it, but I connected them to another team like Kendrick and them, so now they own 60% of equity of Pixelmon now. Kendrick from what is it, this thing, Kendrick from Alf, what is it, what's the project's name, Anime Metaverse. Yeah, that guy is like really rich and stuff, so I was connected to him. So I asked him if he wants to take over, so he took over, and he owns 60% of equity. But yeah, we pretty much lost $14 million to our treasury back then, like so. And that was the longest AMA, so 9 months, sorry, 9 hours of Discord trying to calm our holders down, guys. Like it's not. At the time, the consulting or consultancy concept was very hard for people to also understand or accept. For them, they just felt like us being associating. I mean, us associating with Pixelmon anyway is gonna screw up our brand. But I mean, yeah, I mean it's a lesson as well for all of us. So next time, if worst case some shit like that happens, we have a consultancy now, so it's a different story. But yeah, I'm just at the time, yeah, it was like kind of the people are just worried that it can kill our Gojira brand. But yeah, so uh, just thought I will just wanted to bring that up. That was the 9 hour AMA. Right. So minus the 14 million, I would say. Guys, anything else before we wrap it up? Any update on 8080? So 8080, I think the product is pretty much like the plan is we are gonna gonna do some marketing for it. Their team is gonna do some marketing for that, right? We are gonna pretty much pick somebody from the community. From First, I'll just clarify this. No, nothing to be sorry about, Richard. It's just I just told that a lot of, like, at the end of the day, right? For us, we could have taken that $14 million, but you think about that was more than our project's treasury multiple times, right? If I decided that like, this is where people don't, like, a lot of them from outside don't also see that if I decided that night that money was more important to me than, let's say, the Gojira holders or OG people, I would have taken that against all this. I didn't have to ask anybody. Like, no one's gonna come and be like, you shouldn't have taken, reverse the decision, and I take a $14 million to my bank or PG or whatever if money was really important. But we pretty much gave value, and we gave value to our holders. That was more important for us at the time. So this is, if people have sacrificed a lot for PG team has also sacrificed quite a few things, we are not money minded. So I just wanted to put the point that, for new people here who did not know the incident that happened, we gave up on that $14 million offer purely because we wanted to make sure our community is, um, they were satisfied at the time, and that they didn't feel like, we went against their sentiment or something. So that's pretty much this thing. And yeah, I mean, pretty much RNA what he posted here. So Kendrick asked, what kind of help do you want at the time? And I was like, I could have gotten a pay, I could have gotten a percentage of commission for the help or something. I didn't take a single dollar. I just asked, invest in our project, like, how much ever you feel like. He came and swept for $300,000. That was 100 ETH back then, right? So anyways, he wanted to invest in our project, but that was pretty much during the Pixelmon time. So we are not, as again, I want to emphasize that we are not working with the intention of making money. A Pixelmon deal would have given us $14 million. That's, as I said, like, it's a lot of money. You could have done a lot of shit, but we put our holders and our community first, and we would continue doing the same. If tomorrow there comes a situation and if majority of the holders are not happy with something, we wouldn't change just because, we minted out our collection, right? So yeah, just thought I'll put it out here. Yeah, so 8080, coming back to 8080, so we would be picking one of you guys here from the Gojira as such, as a priority. Essentially, where if you have a project that you want to launch or something, or you want any smart contract work or something, or a free mint that you want to launch, we are looking to do a live demonstration of all the features as an event, like, in Twitter and YouTube. So we'll be picking somebody up for launching their project, and it could be one of the Genesis holders, who are launching. Maybe somebody like tier one brick flipper Genesis holder is launching his project, like a 444 supply for free, right? Dev work for free, but we will be live, like, doing a live demonstration of it. So anybody from the Genesis or Gen 2 that's launching, we'll probably put them in we'll probably put them for a raffle or something, and we'll pretty much take care of their minting and staking and marketplace for free stuff, demonstrating what this thing, demonstrating what how the 8080 would work. Right, anything else, guys? I think I don't see any more questions. One more question: when Gen 2 gonna fuse? Jamie or Amrish? Throwing it on you, questions like this come and I announce something, and then, Amrish, you can probably take over. What's the plan. If you want to tell it, you tell it. If not, it's on you. You handle it the way you handle it for Gen 2 fusion. But so Gen 2 Fusion is 100% happening. Right? So we are just building like we are. I'm kind of looking for a narrative for it, like because we want to make sure we don't launch too much like at the same time, right? So you just wait for the Q4 targets for us for the launch, and then you would see what are the things coming up for Q4. So yeah, that's pretty much this thing. But we have planned a little bit of surprise element for it. So a nice memorable side of things, because just just don't want it to be just like a fusion thing, but just have a little more memorable stuff for people to remember, especially for the OGs. So something for us to remember that as an event, and stuff like that. So yep. Exactly. That's the thing. Fusion would be nice when Bear is like disappearing, kind of thing would be amazing. But like I think the time we have targeted, it should be a good run, because historically I think it's been doing well the period that we have planned for it. So let's hope things are perfect by then. And by then the Jira tokens should also be really useful. So which based on the things that's coming out in plan. So which means Fusion would be like kind of hard for those who do not have the tokens, kind of thing. So it'll make more sense, for Fusion to to be not super easy for holders, but easy enough, if you're just been holding it instead of dumping, so those kind of things. So that's the kind of thing that we have planned for it. Right, cool, then catch you guys then. So next week, unless you have, as always, any questions, guys. I haven't been really active in the chats. uh, just give us this week, and probably hopefully after that, should be able to come more in the chat. Any questions, anything, just tag me. I kind of reply for questions mostly. That we've been tagged. So next town hall would be really cool in the sense like the products, or at least it's the marketing would have started. One or two or three, all the three would be out by then. What's the date? Yeah, October 2. Yeah, around that time should be fine, and we can talk a lot more about our products. It's probably maybe could be a Twitter space instead of a Discord AMA, so we'll confirm it. So just a heads up, it could probably be a Twitter spaces instead of a Discord thing, right? So I will confirm either next Sunday or the following Sunday would be mostly a Twitter space to time for us to start telling the world about our product and stuff. So 100%. So from next Sunday or the following Sunday, I think we'll be ready to move to Twitter. Okay, cool. Catch you guys then. Bye.